heading into the Bath area now. So hello everybody, I'd just like to let you know that 12 months ago our daughter Anna was in Japan with her partner.
I'm going to stay here because I've got the full view.
And
I've got the video.
they were down the southern part of Japan near Nagasaki. And I mentioned to Anna that that's where Granddad was in a prisoner of war camp. So she and Jack made their way down there. And Dad was along with quite a few other 2nd 20th Battalion members were working as slaves at the Mitsui coal mine. So it's in a place called Amuta, near Nagasaki. This is where many Australian POWs were forced to work as slaves, and their treatment was shocking. So there are a few members of the 2nd 20th, as I mentioned, who worked in the mine, including our father and his grandfather. So at the front of the mine, Anna laid some commemorative flowers on behalf of the 2nd 20th Battalion. Now the thing is, that there was a guard. There was some storyboards at the front of the mine, and nothing mentioning the Second World War, of course. But Anna mentioned that her grandfather was here, and that just went over their head because they couldn't speak English. So entry to the mine was prohibited. But that didn't stop our enemy. So whilst Anna's partner was using the translator to talk to the Japanese guard, bands between English and Australian, and English and Japanese, Anna snuck behind enemy lines and took the following photograph. So there she is laying some flowers. 12 months ago. It was pretty well right on ANZAC Day. And then there's a few images of the coal mine where the 2nd 20th and other Allied prisoners of war worked as slaves. There's an old coal truck, probably one of the originals. Inside places where some of the 2nd 20th guys could have inhabited. That's an image of the prisoner of war camp at Amuta in 1944 or during the 1940s. Anna went and travelled with Jack down the road, and that's the same image now, 12 months ago. It's now a industrial site. We'd now like to pay a tribute to the originals of the 2nd 20th. And our first song today was written by Brendan Graham and Ralph Loveland. It is a tribute to all the soldiers of the 2nd 20th and to all the personnel of the wider 8th Division, including all the medical staff, who bravely put themselves in harm's way to help in raising up our nation and giving all of us a brighter future, free of tyranny.
Troubles come and my heart burden me, then I am still and waiting in the silence until you me out to walk on stormy seas, stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Our musical director and all the guys that have been coming for the last few years and their wives, thank you once again for coming. So. Now the next song is a song by Slim de Grey. We've sung it in the past. It was composed and performed in the Changi PAW camp, followed by next song will be a song which is a medley of wartime and patriotic songs by Ray Telepan, N. Schultz, Hans Lee, Mac David, Murray Cohen and Jack O'Hagan, plus I. Novello and El Ford. The song is called My Castle in the Air. Singing is an ANZAC religion.
Underneath the lantern by the barricade, darling, I remember the way you used to wait. There you whispered tenderly that you love me, you'll always be my lily of the lamplight, my only darling. God bless Australia, our land Australia.
we pay tribute to a member of the 2nd 20th Battalion, a soldier. This year, a little bit different. And the next song we will sing in a few minutes relates to one of many heroic military nurses, Sister Elaine Balfour Ogilvie, who had a close connection with the 2nd 20th Battalion. The following information about Elaine was obtained from the Australian War Memorial Records, plus Caroline Gadden's book, Pounding Along the Road to Singapore, plus various online sources including by historian Catherine Sperling, ABC News and the Australian Nurses Memorial Centre Facebook page. The nurses from the 2nd 4th Casualty Clearing Station, part of the 2nd 22nd Brigade of the 8th Division, played an important part in taking care of the sick, wounded and dying troops of the 2nd 20th Battalion in Malaya and Singapore before and after the Japanese invasion. And among those nurses was Sister Elaine Balfour Ogilvie. Born in 1912, she came from a prominent farming family in Renmark, South Australia. Her father Harry was the most highly decorated South Australian Boer War veteran. At school, she excelled at everything including swimming and singing, and later joined the Adelaide Choir. She could have become a fine opera singer, but chose nursing instead. After 3 years training at the Adelaide Children's Hospital, she was awarded a silver medal. During this training, and like any good nurse, she loved a good party. In 1940, and being unmarried, she was able to enlist as a trained nurse in the AIF in Adelaide. She was appointed to the 2nd 4th Casualty Clearing Station along with 3 other South Australian nurses, Irene Drummond, Mavis Hannah and Millie Dorsch. Over the next year and a half they became very close friends. Elaine left Australia with the 8th Division from Sydney in February 1941 aboard the Queen Mary, bound for Singapore along with the 2nd 20th Battalion. Early on in the voyage, she was asked to sing at a cabaret night in front of thousands of people on board the ship. And they loved her performance so much that she was begged to sing at all subsequent concerts. But she declined and said that she was on board as a military nurse, not as an entertainer. It was these Queen Mary concerts and dances that she first met some of the members of the 2nd 20th, including Bill Gadden. Upon arrival in Singapore, Elaine was detached to the 2nd 9th Field Ambulance at Port Dickson in Western Malaya for 5 months, where they established a dressing station for the 2nd 18th, the 2nd 19th and 2nd 20th Battalions. During this time, she became great friends with the 2nd 20th officer, Bill Gadden, and enjoyed playing golf, tennis, swimming with him, because they both were very sporty people. She socialised with him at dances, and they were great mates. Bill told his mother that Elaine was one of the finest lasses he had ever met. By July 1941, Elaine had joined the 2nd 4th Clearing Station again, and later they moved south to Johor. And in this time, there's some of the nurses that she was, some of her friends in the 2nd 4th Clearing Station. This is during the time they were there, they were entertained, I think this is back in Singapore during a leave with an Indian family. That's her on the far right, lovely smile on her face, enjoying a bit of R&R. This was taken at Port Dickson. Elaine's not in this photograph, but the lady's name was Millie Dorsch. She is the second from the right, I think it is, from the nurses there, or the furthest to the right. And there's some in the front row is some of the 2nd 20th Battalion guys, including my father, who's in that photo. It was taken at a rubber plantation at Port Dickson, and they had a bit of a leave. By late 1941, she was moved north up to Batu Pahat, and it was there that she broke her leg and developed a bad fever. When the Japanese invaded Malaya in December 1941, the 2nd 4th Casualty Clearing Station nurses were forced to relocate south to Johor, which is right opposite Singapore. It was here that Sister Ogilvy, according to one of the soldiers, had won the hearts of all the men with her lovely personality, her dedication to work, and was a breath of home to 1,000 men. She comforted the sick, the wounded, and the dying men by singing to them, particularly by singing a song she loved called The Last Time I Saw Paris. When the 2nd 4th CCS was forced to retreat with the soldiers onto the Singapore island, Elaine and her nurses finished up at an overcrowded field hospital at St Patrick's School. On the 7th of February 1942, General Gordon Bennett, who was the head of the 8th Division, reported that the 8th Division's General Hospital, Australian General Hospital at Manor House, was being shelled, but the nurses remained cool and courageous throughout the shelling, neglecting their own safety to care for the patients. He wrote the following, and I quote, "These nurses are the nearest things to angels I can imagine. They never quarrel amongst themselves, they devote themselves wholeheartedly to deal with the rush of casualties. They never complain and always have a smile and a kindly word for our wounded and sick men." Given the reports of the Japanese atrocities in Hong Kong 2 months earlier, it was eventually decided to evacuate the nurses from Singapore. The nurses, due to their devotion to duty, did not want to leave until they were finally ordered to. When my father was lying wounded in the makeshift hospital around this time, which is probably in St Andrew's Cathedral, which was a makeshift hospital at the time, he said to the nurses caring for him, "What are you still doing here?" And they said it was their moral and professional duty to stay with the men. They were such brave young men. Elaine was one of the last nurses to leave after moving from St Andrew's Cathedral Field Hospital to Keppel Harbour on the 12th of February 1942. She and the 64 other remaining nurses were evacuated on a small steamer called the Vinna Brook. A few days later, the ship was attacked from the air. During and soon after the bombing, 12 nurses died, including Elaine's close friend, Millie Dorsch. The ship was sinking and the remaining nurses assisted women, children and the elderly and the wounded onto 3 lifeboats. Elaine, being a strong swimmer, stayed on board helping out until the last moment before finally entering the sea. She swam strongly to reach a rope attached to one of the lifeboats, and they finished up on a beach on Banker Island. Her friend Mavis Hannah could not swim and clung to an oar and was eventually taken prisoner, fortunately for her, at Mundcock. Banker Island was swarming with Japanese, and all from the 2 surviving lifeboats were taken prisoner. Elaine and 21 other surviving nurses were eventually separated from the rest of the prisoners by the guards. The nurses were taken back to the Raji beach and made to line up along the beach in order to march into the ocean. Matron Drummond, Sister Elaine's Adelaide friend, was heard to say, "Chin up, girls, I'm proud of you, I love you all." Just before the machine gun opened up, murdered them all separately and corporately. This was considered one of the worst war crimes committed by the Japanese in the whole of World War II. Sister Rachel was only 30 years old when she was murdered on the 16th of February 1942. Little did her mother and father know that way back on the 30th of January 1941, as they waved farewell to Elaine at Adelaide train station, that they could never see her again. A monument to the massacre on Raji Beach was erected in 2017. That's the monument was erected. These are her friends. Only one survived. All of Elaine's friends from Adelaide and the 2nd 4th Casualty Clearing Station only Mavis Henner, who survived the war because she could not swim to catch up the ill-fated lifeboats. The memory of Elaine Ogilvy lives on with her story told at the last post ceremony in Canberra on 3rd of October 2015. In Redmark, South Australia, there is silo artwork of her image, and also a library and a memorial scholarship has been named in her honour. To honour this brave young Australian nurse and the other nurses who risked their lives to look after the men of the 2nd 20th Battalion, we will now sing a song that Elaine sang to comfort the wounded dying soldiers, the 1940 wartime song, The Last Time I Saw Paris, by Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein. The lyrics of this song were hauntingly similar to how her family and friends would have wanted to remember Elaine by as the vibrant and caring person she was, and so full of life and fun. War destroyed the life of Paris, the same as it did to his sister Elaine and her brave colleagues.
Don't you be mistaken, they'll be bringing back the bacon. So keep the billy boiling all the time. Keep the billy boiling all the time. It's a brown slouch hat with the sides turned up, and it means the world to me. It's a symbol of our nation, the land of liberty, and the soldiers they wear